Today's guests are Sue Scott and Sarah Crain with Animal Rescue Financial Service Support, or Financial Support. Thank you for coming, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
All right. For those who are unfamiliar, why did y'all start Animal Rescue Financial Support?
Well, 18 years ago, when I moved here, I got involved with animal rescue. I volunteered at Mountain Shelter, and then I went to Cast Off Pet Rescue. Doing that, I saw the great need here in the mountains. There were abandoned animals, homeless animals, neglected animals, just an enormous amount of stray animals. And so I saw that in Towns County, I was always getting calls about all these 20 cats here and 30 cats there. And so
Definitely a problem.
I said, we need an animal sanctuary. We need a cat sanctuary for these animals. So I got several animal lovers together, and we talked about starting an animal sanctuary. Well, then the more I thought about that, the more I said, wait a minute, this has to be bigger and broader than just cats and cat sanctuaries.
Smart.
So we decided that we would do all animals with all needs. And that's what Animal Rescue Financial Support does. And by the way, we don't go by Animal Rescue Financial Support. We go by ARFS, the acronym, just because it's easier and it's catchy, and people remember it.
ARFs.
ARFs.
When was ARFs established? What year did you finally get it up and going?
Okay, we were incorporated in January of 2022. We had our first assignment in February, and we have been busy ever since.
Every day.
Every day.
Is ARFs a nonprofit?
It is a nonprofit, tax-exempt organization.
Very good. So my donation would be tax deductible?
You got it.
Very good. What type of financial support do y'all offer to animal owners?
Most of what we do is vet expenses, particularly for impoverished pet owners, but we do that also for sanctuaries, animal shelters, foster homes, farmers. You know, anyone who is in need of financial help with vet expenses, we will help them.
Give me the typical scenario.
Like dogs that get snake bites, cancerous tumors, amputations.
So they take their pet to the vet.
No, they call me first.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
There
They-
we go.
specific vets that we work with.
That's a must. They have to call me first. The vets will not do anything without my approval, and we only work with two vets:
Which vets?
the Hiwassee Animal Hospital and Lake Chatuge Animal Hospital.
Who are the docs there?
Dr. Vardaman is at Hiwassee, and
Great guy.
Dr.
Great family.
Yes.
Love Dr. Vardaman and his family.
and
Great,
Dr.
good
Marshall is, and there are a couple other vets at Lake Chatuge.
people. Okay.
But they also give us an animal rescue discount. This is why we work with them.
Very nice. Yeah, the Vardamans.
And we do support some small little shelters and sanctuaries that really need support, that don't get support.
Example
from
there.
a Wonderland Sanctuary.
In Clay County.
They don't get county funding where others do. So we want to make sure and
And
support
what
them.
does Wonderland do?
Wonderland has 70 rescue animals: donkey, horse, goats, chickens, dogs, cats, rabbits.
Sounds like a family farm to me.
It
but
is.
Okay.
It is. They're wonderful people.
But they have taken a lot of the animals that we get that are severely injured and nobody wants to adopt them. So we love Wonderland Animal Sanctuary. And we provide them with food, and we pay vet expenses. And their barn got struck by lightning and burned to the ground, so we provided a barn and some fencing for them.
Very nice, very nice. How much does ARFS spend on financial aid for needy animals?
We have spent in our 2.5 years. Hold on, this is amazing. We are pushing $76,000 in financial aid. Yeah, that's
a
pretty
lot of
wild.
money in 2 years.
It is.
Considering how small we really are.
That's right. And I want to say that 95 to 99% of our expenses goes for financial aid. Charity Navigator says that 90% is good. That means that ARFS is very good.
Repeat that. If you're out there listening and you're thinking, well, do I really want to donate? Am I really helping? How much goes to helping?
I keep the records. I'm the accountant. I know this for a fact, and I've got it down on paper. 99% of our expenses went for financial aid, meaning only this was the first quarter of this year. The second quarter, it was 95%. This means that only a very small percentage is going for administration, advertising, and fundraising. One of the reasons is we don't have a facility. So we don't have a corporate office. We don't have to pay for utilities and insurance and things like that.
How many animals? 76,000 spent helping animals. How many animals have y'all helped?
We are about to hit 391. Of course, you have to consider that 70 of those are at that sanctuary. We also provided food, pet food, for the food pantry in Towns County, so you're looking at 60-some animals there. So that's how that number has added up.
And we also have a branch is called the Kitten Cuddle Crew. And I counted the numbers last night, and we have helped exactly 100 kittens and cats with our foster group. So I guess you can add that
Yes.
to the numbers.
Okay, I'm a
she
dog
said.
guy. This cat stuff. Come on, ladies.
He's
what have you
warming
done
up.
for
He's warming
dogs?
up.
No, I'm
What
not.
have we done for dogs? We had a dog that had a disease that I never even heard of, and I'm probably saying this incorrectly, but I think it's pyrometra, and I found out
Yes.
that that's fatal. Well, we saved that dog.
Now, tell me a little background. Did the owner call you and say, I have a
Yes.
sick dog?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
I think most people picture cats, dogs. You've mentioned donkeys.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most different animal y'all have you done an
Ooh.
iguana, a crocodile, a snake?
No,
I
not yet,
wish.
not yet. But like I said, we do all animals. But mostly what we've done is dog and cats, other than the sanctuary for the barn,
All
which was
right.
the other ones. Yeah.
Wow.
But we would do other animals. We're open to that.
Yes.
Does ours take in animals that are homeless or that need to be surrendered?
We do not, because we are not a facility. We do not do adoptions. We get a lot of phone calls thinking that we do this. We do not. We do financial aid. They'll have to
Okay.
call shelters for that.
Yeah, we're not
Okay.
a shelter. We don't hold animals.
What, not playing favorites here, but what could you give out? I want the show to be all-encompassing. What shelters locally have y'all dealt with?
There's three. There's Valley River, which is in Marble, and that would be like the Clay County, the Cherokee
Right.
County area. Then we have a cast-off pet rescue, which is in Blairsville, and we have the Mountain Shelter Humane Society.
And they're where?
They're in, well, they're Blairsville, really. They're just
Okay.
over the line, I think.
But Kitten Cuddle Crew also works with Cashiers Humane Society and Blue Ridge Humane Society.
Okay, so if someone has an animal, that's where you would take them?
If they need to surrender the animal, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. Does ours handle situations of abused or neglected animals?
I get a lot of calls about that. We would not even be allowed to do that. That is a legal issue, and they need to call the sheriff.
Okay.
Whether it's Clay County, whether it's Union County, whether it's Towns County, they need to call the sheriff.
All right. Do you get many calls about neglected
I do.
or abused animals?
I do.
Is it normally like a neighbor?
It is. It's a neighbor saying, hey, there's a dog in my area that is not being fed or properly. Yes. And so I have to direct them to
Or
the
it's
sheriff.
been on a chain for 2 weeks and I don't
Yeah.
see any water and
Right.
it's in the direct sunlight and we
Do
don't
you
know what to
stink
do.
them water?
We can't go on private property.
No, we can't do that.
Let's say someone's been listening and feels like they would like to help y'all out. Phone number, how do they get in touch with y'all?
There's multiple ways they can contact us through Facebook. If they're on Facebook, they can direct message us. Our phone number is also listed on Facebook.
And give that number out slowly.
It is 762-294-9467.
And the donations that they might be willing to make, I hope you will, are tax deductible. And let's talk about volunteers.
Yes, we do need volunteers. I am looking for a wonderful retired CPA, auditor, because since ARFS is doing so well, this year we're going to have to up our tax reporting, and we're going to need a CPA to audit it. That would be a donation, that they could do.
Sure.
Another thing is a grant writer. We could definitely need a grant writer.
That'd be great.
We also need fundraisers, people who love to do fundraisers. I'm not one of them, but there are people out there who just love that. I also need a fifth board director. We have 4 board directors. We have myself as president and treasurer. We have Sheila McDivitt as secretary. We have J.J. North as our vice president and our event coordinator. And we have lovely Sarah Crain as our director of public relations. But we could use a 5th one, preferably one who has business skills to help out. So if anyone's interested in getting involved, tell them to give us a call.
Speaking of business skills, Mrs. Crane, what do you do when you're not helping animals?
Yes, so my real job is I'm a realtor at Century 21 Black Bear Realty.
Very good. All right, back to a few questions. Does ARFs help with injured wildlife such as birds or ducks? Let's say I come home and my duck's got a limp. Can I call y'all?
Well, I get those calls, but we do not do that. But you need to call the Department of Natural Resources. You can find them online. So if you have injured wildlife, and there is a lot of wildlife here in the mountains,
Sure.
that's who you need to call.
Do y'all, I remember we had a lady on with Whiskers, I think was the organization.
Whiskers Project. Mm-hmm.
So I think I know the answer to this, but do y'all trap animals?
We do not. We call Whiskers Project.
Yes. And going back to volunteers, one I'd like to add is I'm always looking for fosters. So
Yes.
if we can get any type of foster, cats, dogs, whatever it is, please let us know. You can call the phone number on Facebook.
Foster's is an Australian beer. And I think it's Australian. Is it Australian, Packy? When you say
Foster
Foster's.
is a short-term commitment to some type of pet that eventually will end up going into the shelter. So you're not
Okay.
adopting it. Maybe like an 8 weeks, 6 weeks,
Oh,
4
okay.
weeks even, where it just
Okay.
needs a place to stay for whatever reason until it goes into the shelter.
Very good, very good.
And
Does-
as far as donating, I do want to mention this.
Yes, ma'am.
First Friday is coming up. Every first Friday, Main Street Grill in Hiawassee donates 20% of their intake to ARFs, and that is amazing. And
Wow.
I can't praise them enough. They have been so good to
The
us.
first Friday.
That's coming up August the 2nd, and yes, please go there for breakfast or lunch. You're going to eat anyway. You may as well eat there and support animals at the same time.
I like that. You tie it to eating because I like to
Yes.
eat. Does ARFs have, well, you talked about you have a board of directors.
Yes.
Are they paid for their services?
They are not paid. We receive, in fact, we pay just about all the office expenses, all the telephone, all these things are paid by the board members. So, no, we get no compensation for anything that we do.
And that's how you mentioned earlier, y'all are approaching nearly 99% of
Yes.
every dollar donated goes
To
to
financial aid.
taking care of local animals. And I truthfully, there are a lot of different organizations that help animals. What grabbed me about y'all, and I can't remember who I was discussing this with, but you said we really help the pet owners because I'm big on helping folks. And could you explain how the donations folks make? Yes, they do help animals, but give me this common scenario as far as how it really helps their fellow human beings.
Okay, so we had a disabled veteran from Marble, and his dog ran into a truck, a moving truck, and it had a broken jaw. I mean, we're talking $2,500 in vet bills for this one. This disabled veteran didn't have the money at all.
Sure.
But he loved his dog. He needed the dog. It was physical therapy for him. So we paid for that dog. We had a little boy and his dad. I don't know where mother was, but anyway, this little boy, they found a kitten on the side of the road. So the little boy fell in love with the kitten and treasured the kitten. So we paid for that cat to have an amputated leg. That's very expensive. They couldn't do that.
Sure.
We've had single people who, they're not married, they don't have children. Their animals are their children.
Sure.
Their animals are their companions. So, but they can't afford always to get, the vet expenses are high, and I'm not blaming the vets.
Right.
the economy.
Everything's high.
Everything's high, yes. We've also had a man whose wife died, and he said to me, "That dog is all I have left of her." So you see, this is not just the animals we take care of. We take care of the people, too.
Yeah.
Since ARFS is incorporated in Hiawassee, does ARFS serve only Towns County or any of the neighboring counties?
We serve Clay County, Cherokee County, Union County, but we've also done a few in Franklin, Clarksville, Cleveland. These were like exceptional cases. For example, the one in Franklin, a puppy swallowed a sock. It was in the dog for 4 days. The dog could not eat
Sure.
or pass any or eliminate
Sure.
anything. The dog would have died. And the young man called me up and said, "I'm watching my dog die." Well, how am I going to say no to that one?
Sure.
So every now and then we stretch our radius and take in special cases.
Folks, this is definitely a worthy cause. That's why I really wanted to highlight what they do in our community. I like to think of them helping all of our dogs in particular. I'm not a cat guy, to be real frank.
He's warming up, trust me. I'm working on him.
Yeah, that's not happening. I'll show you the cat scars on my hand. Folks, if you're looking for a great tax-deductible organization to help out, you're not only helping the animals, but as they just illustrated, you're helping your fellow man. How can folks, let's go back, how can they get a hold of y'all if they wish to donate?
First thing they can do is send a check to ARFS, P.O. Box 972, Hiawassee, Georgia, 30546. Another way is our website.
They can visit our website and donate.
They can hit the donate button in our website, and that's easy.
And Facebook.
Okay,
Yes.
tell me the website.
The website is very simple. It's ARFS, ARFS hyphen INC.org. Very simple.
Give it out one more time.
It's ARFS, ARFS hyphen INC.org.
Okay, and a phone number.
762-294-9467. They can also buy a raffle ticket. We got a raffle ticket.
Yes, $1,000
Sarah,
Amazon gift card.
Sarah, tell them about the raffle. Go ahead.
So I think it's November 6th is when we draw, and we are selling tickets until then. So if you'd like to purchase one, you can visit our Facebook page, and you can see exactly how to do that.
Or they can call me, and I will write out a ticket for them. Also, we will be at the John Campbell Festival, possibly the Sorghum Festival, the Pumpkin Chunkin' Festival. You can buy tickets there.
Folks, we so appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you'll help these wonderful people in this organization. Thank y'all as always.